Support and resistance actually works, it's just misunderstood. After 5 years of trading, I have come to prove this through my own trading and through me showing to an audience every single day live on YouTube. I have a 75% win rate and the only lines I have on my chart are support and resistance. So for those naysayers that are saying it doesn't work, for me I have proven it has. And for me it's been a massive part of my journey because it proves a non-subjective way to be able to plot areas on your chart that you may be interested while trading. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about my exact support and resistance strategy, how I use it and how I implement it on a daily basis to generate income from the markets. And in order to do this, I'm going to break it down using back-tested examples as well as taking you guys through step by step. So if that sounds like something interesting, let's get into it and hopefully you guys enjoy. Let's go. All right, guys, so I'm going to break down my support and resistance strategy. So I made a video a few weeks, I'm going to link it up there about how to mark support and resistance a little bit more in depth. But in this video, I really want to talk more about my support and resistance strategy and how to execute on which resistances and which support. So for buys and sells and how to make that accurate. Because I know online, support and resistance seems to be something extremely simple and doesn't work. But actually, it's a bit more complex than you think it is, but simple at the same time. I know that sounds confusing, but that's just how it works. Because we tend to overcomplicate the support and resistance and not mark the simple support and resistance, and then you don't know how to trade. Because think about support and resistance as just a guideline. It's just giving us an okay of where we can trade and where we cannot trade. So what I'm going to dive into this video is exactly how I use that to my advantage, and that really starts from daily time frame. Daily time frame is really where I have the power of my support and resistance. So I mark my support and resistance and only most recent. So most recent support is going to be here. What is a support? I'm going to explain to you right now. So just to recap, what is a support? Let's go on a 1 hour to show this because it will have more examples. A support is defined, right? It's basically a floor. It's defined by bearish candles followed by at least one bullish candle close will create a support. That's right there. Many people think you should be marking the wicks. The wicks do not count in the support. It's the bodies where these candles close. Bodies, all of the bodies here. That's all of your supports. So a support is this, where we have bearish candle closes followed by a bullish candle close, creates a support. Resistance will be the opposite, where we have bullish candle close followed by a bearish candle close, creates a resistance. Okay, and if we have two or more, that's creating a more stronger or a better support compared to one. But one still counts, guys. One still counts. So I start from daily time frame. The next time frame I go to is 4 hours. So on 4 hour time frame, again, daily support is here. 4 hour, the next 4 hour resistance all the way up here, man. All the way up here, right? So this is the next one. I'm always looking at the most recent and I take it like this. I put this as 4 hour resistance. This was a previous 4 hour support, but there's a concept in trading where we have previous 4 hour support can turn into resistance, right? We have that concept. And that's called support and resistance flip. Hope you're following along. But again, all you should be doing is also watch my previous videos and check this out. Today, I think it will all make sense as I show you more and more examples here. Okay, so the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to identify, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch to a platform because I actually want to play a trade here. All right, so what I've done here is I've pulled up the software. This is called Pip Labs. This is basically our backtesting software that we have. And you can practice taking your trades and stuff, but I want to show a live example or a backtested example so you guys can see it in action, as this is the way I want to deliver my concept today. So number one is what we need to do is we need to start marking from higher time frame. Daily and 4 hours, super important. I'm using the demo version. This is a version you guys can try for free. That's why I'm showing you. So step number one here is going to be to mark up daily. We actually have a daily support right here. So we mark that as daily support. Remember what we learned in the beginning of the video, to have a daily support. Very, very important. And we need to mark them, right? We identified one candle closing the opposite direction is a daily support. Now the next thing is we go to 4 hour. You get the same message, just do the same thing. We can see our next 4 hour support is here, is one of them. And then the next one is up here. Okay, these are our two 4 hour supports, right? 4S and 4S. The next time frame we go down to, okay, and we're always marking most recent. If this was behind here and it's been crossed through already, more than this, doesn't count, right? So we're not marking stuff back here. Like, let's say I'm trading here, I'm not marking this. I'm marking this one, this resistance. Let's say we're trading up here, I'm not marking this old one here. No, my next 4-hour resistance will be this, okay? Now, why is daily and 4-hour? These are the zones that you cannot trade at. You have to trade to them or above or below them. Anything around 4-hour support and daily support and resistances is where you mess up with support and resistance, because they're so strong around those zones. So it really messes you up. The second thing where people get really messed up using support and resistance is they don't do it in volume times. You check the time now, 11 a.m. This is the time I take trades live on stream. Check this out, 11:30. Here, 11, right? You can see this is the time I actually trade. So if this is the time I actually trade, that's a big factor, because you need volume. Volume will be able to give you the volume closes above and give you the confirmation, okay? Next time frame you have to go down to is the 1 hour. You mark most recent. Now, the beautiful thing here, 1 hour is totally clean. Nothing on 1 hour. 30-minute, totally clean. 15-minute, also totally clean, okay? This is also totally clean. 15-minute, totally clean. 1 hour, totally clean. But we have the 4-hour there. Now, in some cases, this might be clean and you won't know there's a 4-hour, but technically there's a little 15-minute resistance here. But sometimes you won't know that because it will look clean. Now, wherever it's clean, what I mean by clean, no support and resistance, this is your golden zone. This is where you make money inside of here, because you're clean, because there's nothing stopping you. Where you mess up is because you buy at resistance, you sell at support, and then people say, oh, you're just selling lows and buying highs. Yeah, it's not the case of that. It's because you're taking it in wrong zones, wrong time. And the last step here is, how do we take the buys and sells? So we went down to 1 hour, we went down to 30-minute, we went down to 15-minute. If I'm going to take a buy, I need there to be a resistance before I take a buy. And I take a buy above the resistance with a 15-minute close, and that's my confirmation. Stop loss below the 15. So let me repeat that. If I'm going to take a buy, I need there to be a resistance and a close above a resistance for a buy. If I'm going to take a sell, I need there to be a support and I need a close below a support. If there's no resistance, I cannot take a buy. If there's no support, I cannot take a sell. And those resistances and supports have to be made on a 15-minute time frame. So I'm always looking to buy above a resistance and sell below a support. And where am I trading to? I'm trading to the next resistance, or I'm selling down to the next support. So today's plan would be to do what? To take a trade above the 4-hour resistance, because that's our resistance. So let's check all our boxes. Now, how do I know today to look for buys? I have plenty of videos on my channel discussing this, but I use something called bias. That looks at previous daily closing bullish. So if previous daily closed bullish, previous 4-hour, in this case, closed bearish. So this is what I call a mixed bias. That means that I can look for both buys and sells. I really recommend you watch my session bias video. It will drastically help you with that. So that allows me to take buys because I'm covered by higher time frames, especially with daily candle closing bullish. The next step I'm going to look for here is to just get a 15-minute close above the 4-hour. Why? Because from here to here is not enough to trade. It's too small. Ideally, if this 4-hour is not there, your buy would be above here, 15-minute close. So let's go ahead and skip. So that's a nice close. Okay, that's a nice close. I would take that any day. But the problem is there's no confirmation because we don't have the close above the 4-hour. You need a close above a 4-hour. Buying into 4 hours, you're asking for a slap. So let's wait for the next 15. And you can see it did what? Rejected. So you can't even take that, because this rejection could be where you lose. Let's wait for the next 15. Finally, we get a close above the 4-hour. Finally. Okay. So now that we've closed above the 4-hour, this is where our trade can make sense. So let's go and check the boxes. Okay. Do we have clean candles here to trade to the next 4-hour support? Yes. So there's nothing obstructing this trade to continue. Do we have structure before our entry? Meaning, do we have a resistance? Here's our resistance. Did we close above that resistance? Yes. Are we closing above any higher time frame resistance? Yes, we're closing above 4-hour. Aha, now I'm using support and resistance to trade properly. This is our entry confirmation. We can take a trade. So this is a cool thing about Pip Labs, is that you can actually practice taking a trade. So in this case, we're actually taking a buy. We're going to put the entry here, break of the high. I'm going to put stop loss below, back inside the range here. And my target, now ideally your target should be the next zone here. That's how you should play it, right? Wherever the next zone is here. Because a lot of people are going to do what? A lot of people are going to try to target all the way up here. But they forget that there's a zone right there. Okay? So that should be our target. Okay? 1-to-1 would be good as well. I'd be happy with that. So the cool thing is we can actually watch this play tick by tick. Meaning we can watch this play as the candle would form in the live market here. Okay? So I normally should have waited for a bottom wick first. That's more of my rules. If you're interested in watching those videos, go join us on live stream. We stream Monday to Friday. We can see our P&L going up and down. We're minus 155. But if this made a bottom wick and reflipped, I would still be in. So hopefully it does flip. And we'd be okay. So you can see this drawdown happening right now. But the good thing what happens now is we have a support here above our entry. So what does that mean? Not above our entry, but above our stop loss. So we have a chance to use this zone as a floor. So now that we are entered here and we have a support under our entry, it uses it as a floor. The same way it can use this whole zone as a floor as well. So that's how support and resistance can help us a lot here. So I'm going to take that entry and then we're going to see what happens. So let's see if we use it as a floor now. I'm going to speed it up. So we're saving time and look at that. Look. See? Look how it respected that zone perfectly. Used it as a floor. So that kind of gives you more confidence, and that's another powerful part of support and resistance. Now we're back in profit. We didn't reject really much here, but I think that's going to be the end of the juice. Let's see if we get one. Oh, there we go. Nice. Happy days. So it actually ended up smashing take profit there, and that's what we like to see. So actually I'm interested to see how far this went. Oof. So it actually was a very decent, then retraced. Okay. But you can't be greedy. You can't be greedy. It was a good position as a whole. Okay. But that's a whole different subject. I'm getting sidetracked. So this is a little bit more in depth how you're going to use from daily 4-hour and work your way down to trade using this strategy. Very simple. Entry on 15, mark up the daily 4-hour, move down, put the resistances, and then look for your entry. Works. This is something I do live on a daily basis. And what I've done for you is those who stay to the end, I have a little gift for you guys. And those have skipped the video obviously won't get this gift. So in my WAP, if you go down and you see Tradesharpe exclusive group, when you open the exclusive group, it's going to take you to my website. There's actually a free risk management course, which you're more than welcome to watch, and I recommend you watch, all for free. You press get access. That's going to take you to where? That's going to take you to my WAP here, and you'll see this free risk management course. Join it. Once you join it, you will be then taken into this page where I have included a new free PDF with these setups that I just talked about. So you have that for free. You can access that PDF and use it as reference. That's the same setup we just took. Here was a resistance. We waited for a close above the resistance and making sure to take in consideration the higher time frame level. So use the free PDF and that's how you're going to get access to it. So overall, I hope that this has helped today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. With that being said, take care, trade sharp, and hopefully catch you guys very, very soon.